How to prepare the perfect greenhouse capsule veggie bed. First, you need to purchase a greenhouse capsule, which you can buy online, or you can choose a store from our store locator. Next, you must find and prepare a good level spot for the unit, positioning it into a winter warm position. In this particular case, the land slopes away from the capsule, so we've had to build up the base on which it's going to sit on, using some steel and some concrete tiles. It's quite important to make sure that the concrete slab is actually level. So what we use is a spirit level. And obviously you use the spirit level before you put the tank into position. It's quite important to make sure that the base the greenhouse capsule is sitting on is solid and also level. The reason for this is because the capsule drains to the right. And if the bed is uneven and sloping to the left, then it's likely that the unit will flood. Once you're satisfied that the base is level and the capsule has been put in place, then just check your levels across the bin on both ends and then also on the front edge. It doesn't have to be perfect. And for a final check, just using the hose or a bucket, just dribble a bit of water into here, like that, on the left-hand end of the unit, and make sure the water is running down the drain to the right. Providing it's running down the drain to the right, I'll be happy, and you'll be happy. Now obviously this unit is set up in the middle of my backyard. There are several others in this yard as well, 3 or 4 of them. And there'll be more, because we just love our veggie garden. But it may be that you'll choose to position your unit on your deck or veranda or porch, or in the case of a small yard or perhaps a nursing home or retirement village or something like that, you might put it on your concrete deck. It's very important to make sure that the structure that you're sitting it on will support a total weight of 690 kilos. That's how much these things weigh when they're fully loaded with soils and water and of course plants. The capsule itself weighs approximately 60 kilos assembled and when it's delivered. Once you add water to the tank in the bottom of the unit, you'll be putting in 450 litres. Every litre weighs 1 kilo, so that's 450 litres and 450 kilos of water. On top of which, you'll be adding 180 litres of soils and fertilisers into the garden bed, plus the plants. 180 litres of soils and materials, again 1 kilo per litre approximately, that's 180 kilos. So an all-up weight of around 690 kilos. The position makes little difference, provided the unit gets maximum sun during the winter months. To prepare the garden bed, you'll need the following. A good pair of garden gloves. 1 5 kilo bag of mini pebbles, the sort of small stones used in aquariums, vases or pots, and about 5 to 8 millimetres in diameter. 60 litres of hardwood wood chip. Do not use pine. 6 25 litre bags of good quality fine potting mix. And 1 or 2 25 litre bags of cow manure. All of these materials will be available from your local nursery. With the capsule now in its permanent fixed position, it is now time to fill the tank with 450 litres of water. And when it overflows, it will come out through this overflow. That should take about 20 minutes on normal town water pressure. You'll notice the watering system has 3 short vertical risers, each fitted with a multi-port manifold. In this instance, we are using 3 4-port manifolds, but from time to time we use an 8-port manifold in the centre. We'll leave these loosely fitted for now to keep the irrigation system free from grit until the soils have been added to the bed. Then these manifolds will be removed so their installation can be completed before the seedlings are planted. Now it's time to get dirty. When working with organic matter, there's always bacteria around. Please put your gloves on. To begin, firstly fill the drain sump with gravel so that it covers the mesh. Fill to the level just above the base of the garden bed, approximately 35 to 40 millimetres deep, and then make sure that the geotech fabric supplied with the capsule is properly positioned over the gravel. Then pour the remaining gravel over the geotech fabric and slightly onto the base of the green veggie bed. This is very important as the combination of gravel and geotech material stops the drain from becoming blocked with sediment and sludge, also significantly reducing sedimentation in the bottom of the water tank. Now it's time to add the hardwood wood chip to the garden bed. It's very important that you don't use pine or anything else really. You must use just hardwood wood chip. Anything else will kill the vegetables in your garden bed. Smooth this around evenly in the garden bed, remembering that the right hand side is deeper than the left hand side, so the amount of wood chip must be deeper on the right hand side of the bed. Now we're going to add approximately 100 litres of good quality potting mix. Simply add a couple of bags at the start. Give that a bit of a spread around. There's no need to pack it down. And now we'll add 1 or 2 bags of cow manure. In this particular case, I'm just going to use 1. Spread it fairly evenly across the bed, keeping it fairly level with the pipe. And then add 1 more bag, again depending on what you're putting in, but 1 more bag's enough usually. You want to end up about 25 millimeters from the top of the rim to finish the space. So that's about how it should end up. There's a fairly shallow end over here, and then all we do is dig in the top layers, mix the 2 top layers around a bit. And the best way of doing that is by using a small spade, and just mix it together by pulling the cow manure to the top from the second layer down. And the same on this side, and then just folding it over itself, kind of thing. Just like mud pies really. You're making cement or slurry, you do it the same way. Just that simple really, don't have to be too vigilant about it, just mix it up a little bit. Now it's time to complete the installation of the drip irrigation system. And how we do that is, we firstly have to clear around these risers here and these manifolds to make sure that when we take the manifolds off, no dirt or grit gets down the pipe, which could potentially block up the system when we turn it on. So just have to clear this all away so it's reasonably clear like that. Right. And now we just simply remove these by just turning them anti-clockwise so they come off the stem. Don't drop them in the dirt because that gets them all dirty. You're trying to avoid that. That's 1, 2, 3. Now what we need to do is to get a broad pot, about so diameter, of boiling water. So that's my next job. I'll be back in a minute. So these little tubes, there's 12 of them in total. I've already put some in the pot, boiling hot water. We need to pop all of those into here, like that. That's to heat them up so we can fit them over these ends nice and simply over here, but also on the manifolds. We have to take the little black caps off the manifolds and just put them carefully on the table. So these are the 3 manifolds that we're going to use, and these are oxidrippers. Now what's good about these is that they have an octagon flow of water, so the water sort of flows out in multiple points. And the top cap on here rotates like that. As you rotate it, it increases or decreases the length of the spray out to the side. It doesn't spray up, it sprays along and down, so it goes along and down like this. This is why we use it, so it doesn't spray the foliage, it sprays only on the ground, on the soil, keeping the soil moist. Okay, so what we have to do is put a piece of hose onto here, and at the same time put a piece of hose onto here. We're doing them both at the same time so they don't get any dirt in the line. The best thing to do is to hold them against the one next to it. Makes it easy to hold on to, and then just take that and slip it over the manifold end, just like that. Nice and simple. At the same time, do the other end exactly the same fashion. And there it is. Next one, exactly the same. I'm not going to do them all on camera, but it really only takes about probably 5 minutes to do the whole lot. Just like that. Careful not to burn your fingers while the cameraman is trying to get me to hold the shot. If there's any of these on here, they should be twisted off, like that one there. And then the next one, exactly the same. We can hold another one further down the track, Richard. You slip them on, quite simple. If the water goes cool, it'll be hard to get them on, so you'll be able to tell quite simply. If the water's gone too cold and you can't get them on, then just heat the water up further. Okay? Once they're on there, they will not come off. So that's one complete manifold. And we do the same again for the other two manifolds. We'll just set those up and we'll come back in a couple of seconds. So now we've completed 3 manifolds and 3 sets of 4, so 12 in total, with Oxter drippers. And now we're going to complete the installation into the garden bed. I'm going to rest the ones that I'm not installing straight away up on the top here, like that, just to keep them clean, keep the manifold clean, and the other ones I've got in my hand. So this is quite simple. The main thing is not to allow any dirt to get up on the inside of the manifold or down the pipe. So we just start this on here like that. Make sure that it's fitting neatly on the thread and not cross-threaded. It'll be quite easy to turn if it's on properly. And then just rotate it like that. Make it rotate it, grab it by the tube, it's alright. Just do it up like that, you know. And then when it's reasonably tight, finger tight, you just simply grab it with the multi-grips, just until it's firm but not stripping tight, you know? Like that, okay? Again, this one, exactly the same way. Just ease it on, just rotate it like that. Do it up until it's firm. Like that. I just plonk them in there like that. So they're the way, or if you wish, put them down the side behind the pipe. They won't fit on this side that way because there's no space, see? But you can just poke them out through the hole there. Like that. We're now ready to introduce some vegetables into the garden bed, and that will be the subject of the next video.